If you've been living under a rock, you may not have seen what JaMarr Chase said yesterday on the Pivot podcast regarding Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, and the rest of the Browns DBs. So, Steve, let's take the quote, and I'll read it to you in the most PG way possible. This is JaMarr Chase talking to Ryan Clark on the Pivot podcast. He said, quote, "It's game time when we see them. It's just on site, that's it. Not just because Cleveland talked the most, beep. Denzel Ward did his thing. Same for Greg Newsome. I don't think he elite, but they just talk crazy." So Tyvis sent that to the group chat yesterday. A few minutes later,
what'd they say?
We saw Greg Newsome respond. And we're going to pull that up. We got the Newsome tag board 48. It's coming for you. Greg Newsome took a little offense to that because JaMarr Chase said he may not be elite. Well, let's take it, Steve. Just the eye emojis.
On site is what that
On site.
That's what that means. Laugh at it.
Tyvis, from here you take it, my friend.
I need time to break down and explain the lingo
spicy.
to me.
Oh, this is spicy. This is what I'm talking. This had me up. Oh, I was excited. I'm talking about last night I went to sleep.
Yeah, right.
Look, it put me back in that mode. Listen, you get that. Listen, the receivers get to chirping like that. JaMarr Chase had an unbelievable season as a rookie last year. And to get called out like that by a DB, it's time. You gotta let them hang sometimes. You gotta. It's time. If you're gonna be successful in this NFL league, you gotta let them hang. So that's what my boy Sherb told me. You gotta let them hang sometimes. And to see G New respond the way he did, and we didn't even get Denzel's response on his Instagram, but Denzel basically laughed it off and said it's whatever. Like, what's up? So
Denzel said, "I'm rich."
Denzel, like, what's up?
Money.
Like, you ain't gonna be talking about us like that. It's going down. So that Halloween game just became a must-see TV.
Well, this is what I like. We get back to Cincinnati, Cleveland.
Listen.
Hey, McNuggets, pull up that Sam White's quote for me. What Sam White said about Cleveland, Cincinnati. We're gonna get back to my era here.
Spicy.
What
JaMarr Chase said?
No. Sam White's. Those close to the Bengals.
I'll find it. Yeah, give me 1 sec.
So, but I will tell you this though, right? And here, don't get me wrong. I like JaMarr Chase.
Oh, I do too.
I love his little dance, right? That's slick, right? Yeah. He's skilled. But I tell you what, he from down the Bayou area. Well, guess what? You done got it lit up here. You come up here, we're going to get you some gumbo. Yes, we are. But it ain't going to have no crawfish in it. It's going to have some Lake Erie perch. We'll be right here waiting for you. I'm waiting right here for you so you get your little greedy.
The thing that got me most excited about it, though, is showing that they young, but they like feisty, like they with it, like they with the stuff, and that's what you need out of your defense. Like it don't matter who it is. Yeah, we respect what you did last season, but that don't mean nothing. And to be able to talk trash like that, you got to back it up on game.
Yeah,
so we're going to see the absolute best play out of everybody, out of JaMarr, G New, and Denzel, because you done put it out there for the world to see, and you got to show up and show out now.
And I look at it like this. You take a look at the Bengals, and for all that they've done, right? They got to the playoffs last year, had a crazy run through the playoffs. They got to the Super Bowl. They was close in that game. JaMarr Chase had a tremendous year. They got probably the best receivers almost in the AFC as far as T. Higgins, him, and Tyler Boyd. Mm-hmm. I'll say this. Every time they play the Browns, they get smoked. They don't play well. And JaMarr Chase dropped a lot of balls in that game. He dropped a few and fumbled. Denzel Ward had a pick six in that game. And then, they lost the last game of the year. Granted, they already had everything locked up and he wasn't playing. He got the record. But go back to the prior to that. Joe Burrow doesn't traditionally play that well against the Cleveland Browns. And I think you mentioned one thing that I like to see it get back to. I like to see it get back to in the 80s, there was a time period where the Bengals and the Browns were two premier type organization, premier quarterbacks, was winning, putting points on the board. And so often we see the Steelers and the Ravens mentioned in that top echelon, and that's the first place they go. Now we're starting to see the rivalry come back because actually you got the Bengals that are doing well, and now the Browns are doing well. So that's what I like to see.
The other thing I saw in this whole back and forth was this. You just came out the Super Bowl. Why are you worried about little old Cleveland? Cleveland ain't been on nobody's radar.
You know why.
Exactly why. Because it's on and popping now. It's on and popping now.
He know he didn't play well. He got something to prove.
The other thing is they know this, Tyvis. Cleveland holding something over here.
Yeah.
They holding
He
something
ain't
over
beat
here.
him. He been in the league for a year and lost twice to him. What you
McNuggets?
got, Big Nuggets?
You guys know I'm the numbers guy. I love numbers. Just want to throw some numbers out for you real quick. In his rookie season, JaMarr Chase had 81 catches, 1,455 yards, and 13 touchdowns. Take it full, Steve. Against the Browns in 2 games. We threw this up a second ago. 17 targets, 8 receptions, and 75 yards in 2 games. He averaged nearly 100 yards per game. He averaged over 100 yards per game in the 15 games he played against teams not Cleveland. Against Cleveland, 34.5 yards per game. I don't know why he's talking smack about Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome. They did a pretty damn good job holding him down last year.
I'm gonna tell you right now,
because he big money.
He cleaned it up. He said Denzel Ward and Greg New did their thing, but you see, he didn't say Denzel wasn't elite. He said G New he didn't think was elite because he know what we do it on. You know what the Buckeyes do, man. I wanted to see that championship game, man.
I like the fact. See, I'm not one of them dudes. I ain't never been a dude to hand the ball back to the ref. I don't want none of my receivers like that. If you got a receiver that hand the ball back to the ref, he must not be that nice because he must not think he getting back there or it was love. Like no, I like a flashy receiver that can catch the ball now. And I'm glad they did something. And I actually like the fact that the Bengals got JaMarr Chase and he did what he did. So we can stop that stupid old adage that I'm going to draft the offensive tackle every year. Y'all people is fools. You fools. You think because somebody is big and you ain't never seen what he do or play, you think that's the safest person in the draft. Why is it always the safest pick in the draft as a tackle? Actually, that's the most risky pick because don't nobody know what people do up front. You just be like, he's big. Mel Kiper and McShay said it. I'm going to take Penei Sewell over JaMarr Chase. You fools. JaMarr Chase had a half of 3,000 yards up in here, and now all of a sudden you see what people doing. We got to get us one of them guys take the top off.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson. They got Garrett Wilson and Olave.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
And if Smith and Jigba could have came out, he'd have been a first-round pick. Everybody want a receiver now.
I'm just saying, James Laurinaitis made a quote back when they took JaMarr Chase. He said, as a defense, I've never, ever been scared or had the game prep for an offensive tackle.
Never.
But I have been up nights worrying about how we going to stop a wide receiver.
Yeah.
That right there, when he said that, I said, that is profound. I ain't never feared no offensive tackle.
And when he was, and I love the fact that even Joe Burrow, and this just goes to show you, when you got a dude like that, that's why I was so doggone mad all them years we sat up in here. Odell Beckham Jr., I'm sorry. OBJ, I know you at home, you dealing with your knee, but we wasted you, dog. We wasted you. We used you up. We had you running bum routes. You didn't even get no targets. The dude couldn't even get you to rock. I'm sorry. I apologize on the behalf of Cleveland. And if you really want to come back, I know you're going to be back November. We ain't got no receiver still. Look, we still ain't doing it, right? If you want to come on back, let's get together.
Hey.
Hit me up and come on, let's do this thing right. Because I'm sorry you had to see JaMarr Chase get the routes you used to get. You used to just throw it up to him. Go get it.
Well,
Kevin
Stefanski is on record saying he is not opposed to having Odell come back.
Hey, man, come on. I'll start that campaign right now. I'll tell you what. I look at it like this. I will say this about Greg Newsome in the DBs. Hey, JaMarr Chase, you might not even be seeing Greg Newsome like that. You might have A.J. Green on you or one of them big corners. They got 6'4" corners down here now all of a sudden. They got 6'4" outside linebacker corners. They tackle, they do all of that.
I don't know. They might, for those games, they might do it where they might shadow Denzel, check him, or G New. If G New really want to show that he arrived, I'm going to Joe Wood. Hey, G New, if you watching this show, Halloween, you going to Joe Wood. I want that assignment. Wherever he at, I'm at.
He had a couple nice breakups.
Don't worry about nothing else. We in man all game. Wherever he go, I go.
Lockdown.
That's if you want to get that bag. That's how you get that bag right there.
We got to touch on one more Browns training camp story before we talk a little first-place Guardians, but Jakeem Grant went down with an Achilles injury yesterday. Steve, we can take the tag board. He's officially been placed on injury reserve. The All-Pro returner season is done. These are his numbers throughout his career: 7 reception touchdowns, 6 return touchdowns. How big of a loss is this for the Browns, who A, are thin at receiver anyway, but B, This dude's electric in the return game.
Yeah.
Maybe the best they've had since Josh Cribbs.
Hurt a lot, bro.
That
hurt, bro. You talk about it. There was emphasis in the offseason of getting that special teams together. They draft Cade York. They go get this young man, Jakeem Grant, and he's a guy that can not only give you stuff in special teams, punt return, kick return, he can also give you something underneath, whether it's going to run in the jet sweeps or doing things like that with the football. I think you get him space, running little quick screens, bubble tunnel screens. It hurts. But I tell you what, the guy that stands to get the most from this, and I didn't know that they was going to be able to keep 5 running backs. It looks like Demetric Felton is on the squad. He didn't punch his ticket. Not only the fact that you can play running back, not only the fact that you can play receiver, and the receivers are out right now. So he's almost the third receiver right now.
Yeah.
And he's going to get that. Plus, he's going to get some kick return love now, too, on top of that. So it's terrible, but like I said, Demetric Felton, one dude up. Come on, we got to get ready to go.
I agree with that wholeheartedly right there. And I think, it was hard. Demetric Felton was last year to me was probably the coldest returner that never got any return.
None.
Like you could tell when he got the ball, he had moves, but the return team was so bad that he had to dang near dodge 11 people, so you never really got a chance.
That's why my eyebrows are raised. Like, what happened?
I think they really, because last year, we don't even talk about this. The special teams last year for the Browns was horrible.
Trash.
Like, it had to be amongst one of the worst special teams in the league last year. If they really put an emphasis on that, they do. I think Felton is electric enough to make some returns happen. They have to do a better job of getting some punt return protection, and they have to do better blocking on kick return. I hate KOR. Everybody in the NFL hates KOR, but you got to do it. If you got a guy that you truly – no, seriously.
No,
if you got to –
because I know he was on all the special teams.
First,
everyone.
How about this? Front line, center. So I had the fourth string running back and the linebacker that ain't playing. That's who I had to block. So I hated it. The best thing I seen was the returners do this right here because it means that they wasn't returning. But what I will say –
You had to grunt work.
Man, come on, yeah. Oh, they did me that. They like, you 6'3", 213. Oh, you good. You can handle that.
Oh, yeah, you backer.
But the thing that inspires a kickoff return and a punt return team is if you got a guy back there that can take it to the house, that you know can take it to the house, I'm going to block a little bit harder for sure because I want to be a guy that say, I'm the block that sprung you free. So, Felton, you got to show it in practice, maybe get in that preseason game, get wiggly a couple of times, show everybody you can take it to the house. One time is all it takes to have people believe. One time.
So go back to my question. Remember before when I said it was drop a like fly?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on in the practice? Right? I mean, what is going on
He's
here?
not getting hit.
What is going on here? What are we doing in the practice here?
He was doing a one-on-one route, and they threw him a back shoulder fade,
Let me
caught
ask
the
you
ball
another
and he went
question.
down.
What are the receivers doing in practice?
Oh,
Because they seem to be the only ones falling down like flies.
Achilles is something that's a freak accident.
That's why
that ain't really no.
I half tore my Achilles heel, and I just remember like something told me, and I wasn't even doing that. I was getting out of the shower. I was just in there thinking about it. Hey, Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles heel. These are world-class athletes.
Shot 2 free throws.
Dominique Wilkins tore his. I'm sitting here thinking like, I ain't never playing nothing again. I ain't never hooping. I ain't never running fast.
But it's just not the Achilles. You got hamstrings. You got a abundance. It's just an abundance of injuries happening here. So again, I always feel like
knees.
When we're going back, we're ramping people up, right? Slowly, right? And some people, depending on who you are, you get to sit it out. I don't care if you're young or not. We got to bring you back. But we dropping like flies here, and I'm like, we getting closer here.
And here's the thing. And here's the thing I think about. No, for real. I'm serious. I look at it like this, and I ain't trying to ring no alarm. Here's the problem. We done already said Jacoby Brissett has some limitations. We've already admitted that. We clear about that.
Making it worse.
Now, how is it that you gonna put him out there if it's 3rd and 7 and it's a Jacoby Brissett slant to Anthony Schwartz? Do you have any belief? I got about a 52% chance in my mind that's going to either be completed. Anthony Schwartz, he got to run the right route. He got to get off. He got to get off press coverage. He then got
depends on where he's lined up.
Thank you.
Where is he lined up at?
Who was your boy in practice that they couldn't get off press coverage?
Donovan People-Jones couldn't get off press coverage.
He's a big body.
Tell this story. What happened?
Man, this dude came up out of here. He was looking like Scooby.
Who was on him?
Man, I don't even know who was on him. That was a problem because I splash shadowing him because he was the only receiver out there. Cooper was gone. He got out this break. He looked like Scooby-Doo. In one spot.
He's a big body though.
But it's an out. All it is a speed out.
So he couldn't get off the line.
He was getting locked up. They was wax on, wax off. I'm like, bro, he's up in you. They said, hey man.
They put him to the side.
Put him to the side. Coach said, hey bro, hey man.
Get out the game.
Come on, let me talk to you real quick.
Come here, let me holler at you for a
That
second.
is not, first of all, why your steps off the line? He had 18 false steps. He was all up underneath his body. Then he got rerouted. It looked like he ran a dig and then tried to run it out. I'm like, bro, if that timing is already gone, that ball is already thrown. You know that's the timing.
Did they screen?
What'd you say?
Did the coach screen?
Oh no, he just hit him like this. He
out of practice.
He already knew what it was. He grabbed him by the helmet. Come here, let me tell you something. Whispered in his helmet. Let me tell you something. You terrible right now.
Hold on.
You kind of trash.
This DPJ is what, 3rd year in the league? He should be. That's
the problem.
He's a #1 receiver in high school, bro.
I mean, listen, he's
That's
a
a
big
problem.
body receiver.
Yeah.
So
Did he do anything against y'all?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah, against Michigan?
wasn't.
Michigan on state? I don't never
I
remember.
don't remember. Highly doubt it. They didn't win, so they highly doubt
Want
it.
his career numbers, G. Bush?
Huh?
Wait,
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you talking about his college numbers?
I'll get his college in a sec, but this is his pro numbers.
Let's
This is
see.
his 3rd year in the league.
Okay.
Through 2 years, he's been targeted 78 times.
Okay.
Has 48 receptions, 901 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He's been very average. I mean, it's
but no,
very average.
here, let's not discredit him fully.
I ain't gonna kill
He
him.
has showed us some flashes, and he showed us some
Well, and that's the
too,
thing,
right? So,
that's
but
all it's been.
But you are now at a point in your career. This is a make or breaker.
We got to have
So
him.
this is year 3.
Right.
He didn't go first round, so next year
Sixth.
is his contract year.
But they say
he got to show
in
something.
sports, they say your 3rd year is probably that's your year of determination.
No, they say
unless you came out like you an 18-year-old, 17-year-old. If you came out of college after
Well, they say
the
the biggest growth you're supposed to take is year 1 to year 2. And, I mean, he showed flashes. It's just a consistent basis.
Well, we beyond flashes now because we got a lot riding
Well, he
on
ain't got no he has to be that guy.
I mean, because to me, if you look at from top down to top, like you just look at you got Amari Cooper, and then they got that and just chilled. I'm cool. We got all the rest of these, and if you got it, to me, I look at Schwartz, and to me, he's the biggest question mark because he's fast, but sometimes I don't see it. You know, Tyvus he don't play that fast. You know how somebody can be big?
He's 4'3", but he play like he's 4'7".
Yeah, like and why is that? Like, why can you get some receivers that when they run
paralysis by analysis? You're too busy thinking about what you're gonna do. Is he a natural wide receiver?
He's a track athlete first.
Okay, see,
He's a track guy by nature.
so he's still trying to learn some stuff.
He played in the Gus Malzahn playbook. That Gus Malzahn playbook is a lot of this.
Well, if he doesn't, any player that doesn't,
I don't want to see that ain't you can't be a first round pick doing this.
He wasn't a first round pick, but any player that doesn't play fast is usually thinking about something. And I remember when I sent the clip about a week or 2 ago, and I said, New should be all over this route by DPJ because he clearly counting his steps.
Yep.
It's just kind of like it's new to them, or it's like like at this point you should know it's boom, 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 bam. It should be quick.
So like, okay, I kind of compare it to this, and you tell me like, there's a difference between like say somebody is like, okay, playing in space is different.
Yeah.
If you somebody's like you a defensive end, okay, just drop over there. Whoa, I don't have no landmarks.
Yeah.
I don't have depth perception. He's like, but your landmark is right outside the hash mark, and it's
10 to 12 years outside the hash mark.
And you like, whoa, I have no frame of reference for that. Like, and they're like, you got to get depth, son. Get some depth. And I'm like, what do you mean get deep? Like pause. Okay, like Paul, like what you mean, coach? And that's the thing. Like, if you're a defensive back and you playing, y'all run so many coverages, you just know where to run on the cover 3. You just know
You should know where your help is, especially in cover 3.
Right.
Like if it's something short, I got a buzzer that's coming out. If he running the inside route, I need to stay over top because the hookers is coming. He should run right into the hooker. Like it's a lot of spots that you like. I should know when to pick and choose. But that route in particular, he ran a bang 8, which anybody don't know what a bang 8 is. It's when the receiver reduces his split. He comes at you on the outside angle and about his 7th step, he cuts it in, and the quarterback is taught to do this, play action in front, get that linebacker step on, boom, throw the ball right behind his head. That's the bang 8. And if I'm G New and I'm looking at it, first of all, on the reduced split, he's not going deep. If you're going off of tendencies, I'm giving y'all some classified stuff. If it's a reduced split, the receiver's 9 times out of 10 not going deep. I'm sitting on the out or the inward breaking route. In this case, it's the bang 8, and I'm driving and I'm making that play. But he was kind of delayed, and he let him catch it, and I was just frustrated.
McNuggets, have you ever caught a bang 8?
I have not caught. I played football 1 year of my life. I played left tackle. I got destroyed. I was like 4 for 2, 38 pounds.
Whoa!
It was second grade.
You done gave up all kind. You gave up a career.
No, it was rough. We got a lot to get to before we end up. I'll tell the story tomorrow. My football season.
All right, come on.
I got your DPJ stats versus Ohio State.
All right.
10 catches in 2 games, 129 yards and a touchdown. So he was decent against Ohio State, but nothing spectacular.
Okay.
Speaking of spectacular, how about those Guardians?